are two bedstands, bedside tables that I'm going to do over for me. So they're not old pieces of furniture. They're rather new. And I have little baskets in them, but they're kind of outdated, so I might paint these up too. So let's get started. So even though these belong to me, I wash them down with a little Dawn dish detergent, and I'm going to rinse them off. It's very easy if if you don't use products like Pledge and things like that on your furniture. Now, I have nothing against it. It's fine. It's just that if you plan on doing furniture refinishing, you're going to have to wash all that off. And it can really cause a piece to become dirty because it picks up dust after you put those products on. So, I mean, I recommend not to use anything like that. So, yeah, I'm just going to finish rinsing them. Then I'm going to take the knobs off. These knobs are, they didn't come with the table. I actually bought these for the table with a backing. And I'm going to keep those on. So the only thing I'm going to do is remove them. So here are the two bedside tables. As I said, they're not very old. I bought them new, but they're inexpensive. Probably not real wood. They're a little bit heavy, so that's why I say that. And I'm going to do them in a Melange paint. And it's tobacco, is it just tobacco? Tobacco brown. So, different, because I usually have some like pastel pinks and things like that in my room. So I want to change it up a little bit. And yeah, let's see how we go. Now, they're washed and they're rinsed and the hardware is out. And because it's Melange by, one by Melange, it's a one-step, single step, start to finish. And it feels smooth, but it's actually the cleaner, the cleanser that I used did take, you know, a little bit of the shine off. So I have no doubt that I'm going to get good adhesion here with this paint. I've used it before without any problem at all. So let's get started. Okay, so I have two brushes that I'm going to use. One is I think it's called a 1-inch zebra, and that's to put the paint on. And then I'm going to use my boar's bristle brush to just kind of feather the edge, because I plan on using some dark waxes and maybe some gilding wax. I'm not really sure yet, but I want to have just a little bit of texture around the edges. My brush is dry, so I don't need any water with this. Let's see, is this visible? I'm just starting with the top to put a coat on, because then I can kind of position it and do the body of each little table. I'm assuming it's because it's a yellow paint, but the Melange one that I've used in the past has also had a really thin looking first coat, but that didn't mean I didn't get awesome coverage, so I'm not concerned about it. I'm sure it's just like the other Melange one that I used before. So I'm assuming I'm going to do 2 coats at least, probably 3 with the yellow, or 2.5. Okay, I just want to start by getting some paint on there. And I'm going to go and do the top of the second dresser as well. that comes off pretty easy. It's just rough. No one's probably ever going to see that, but just in case. I will turn the table upside down later on. Sometimes I start with it upside down, but these, I just want to get some paint on here. There's some nice detail on these legs, so I know that I can do some waxes on here and kind of detail it a little bit. Yeah. Okay, so I have my first coat on, and I don't feel anything, but usually I just take a soft high grit. I'll use this is 220 and 320. I'm going to use the 320 side, and it's already kind of worn out, and just going over it just in case there's a little nit or a piece of dust or something like that. Yeah. And then I'll wipe it down and wipe any dust off. And so let's just record a second coat on the top.
Sandwiches and a couple other things. So let me know in the comments if you like these kind of cooking food videos, and I can definitely do a couple more of them for you. Food, it, has really become a big part of my life. It always has been because I loved eating. I love trying new foods, but now since I have to deal with these food allergies and this elimination diet that I'm on with the top 8 allergens and stuff like that, food has become something that I just extra have to pay attention to. And so I would love to show you some more meals that I make, especially fun ones. Like say like if you have to go allergy free, or if you have 10 food allergens or something, if you're in a really, really strict diet, sometimes you think that all you can eat is chicken and asparagus or something like that, but I just have figured out some fun meals that I can eat as well, and even just ways to make some of those plain meals more fun. So again, let me know in the comments anything else that you want to see. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed, and yeah, I guess it's gonna be it. Thanks again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I love you, Jesus loves you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Okay, so I'm cheating a little bit on this one because I have other videos that show decoupage, and so I'm kind of slacking here. What I did was I cut the 4 sides. I'm only going to show one side just to be continuous in the video, but I have others videos that show decoupage more completely, and so I will link them below in the video. This is some material that I had. I chose the black and white because it's going to go with the deep gold color of the tobacco brown. This is decoupage gel by Redesign with Prima in the matte finish, which is my favorite. And so I have a couple of other sides done. This is just a cheap chip brush. I could wash it out or I could throw it away. One thing that's helpful is if you use this gel, this decoupage gel, it's really good to wear gloves. Most of the time I just simply forget. It doesn't hurt my hands at all. It's just kind of really hard to wash off. So I always start with like just a small section, and I adhere that section. I have an old credit card. Let's see if I can get that better. Let's just put one side down, and this is kind of a strange place to work because it's not the best place to work, but we'll just make do with it. Yep. So I'm about halfway across this little basket. I mean, it does get on your hands. It washes off, but it gets like almost like you have to pick it off. So that's not too much fun. And I'm just kind of matching these sides together. And I'm going to trim this edge. And after it dries, I'm going to trim that with a scissor or, you know, a razor. Good. So I'm going to let that dry, and last but not least, once I have all four sides done, then I'll go over it with the matte decoupage gel, and that will seal it all in, but it's going to take a little time to dry. Alright, so today I'm going to trim the tops of the baskets that I put the decoupage on, and I'm going to show you right here and drop the phone just a little. So these are the pink baskets. I didn't do anything fussy with the inside. I have the outside done in this new material. It's not decoupage paper, it's an actual, I think it's a polyester material. Here's the other one. So let me put on my glasses, and I have a sharp razor. Hopefully this is going to work okay. And I'm just going to take like a little bite into the material. Ooh, it's actually a little tough to cut, but after I get into it, then of course I get down to the more sharp edge of the razor, and I'm going to take this razor and separate it so I keep, you know, this won't go in by itself. And I'm just going to cut along the top. So I think this is 3 or 4 coats of the tobacco brown in the Melange one paint, and yeah, it's nice. When it's all said is done, when all is said and done, I will flip these over and make sure the bottoms are nice and finished as well. But in the meantime, you know, I want to do a little decorating on here, and I have these. They're actually discontinued, I guess, Prima Marketing. transfers. And what I'm going to do is, let me take this down just a little. So these are, I don't know what they're called, but what I'm going to use is I'm going to use these 4 corner pieces, and I'll probably fill in the rest of it as well, so 1 on each top surface. I don't think I'll do anything in the middle because I tend to put something on my nightstands, so I won't do it and cover that, but just some little thing. And then at the end I'm going to do black wax on it as well. I also have a decoupage that I plan to use for the drawer sides, and you know, we'll do that close to the end as well. It's a black and white, and I think that will go nicely too. And then with the baskets, it'll make a complete picture. So let's get started. Okay, just wanted to show you that my supervisor is never very far. She's always watching everything that I do. And she almost always has a very irritated look on her face. Part of her charm. Yep, so I just wanted to show you my supervisor. That's Louise, and she is the CEO, which stands for Cat Food Eating Officer, and she's always watching. Stop, Jelly, come in here. And so I laid out my plan of how I'm going to do my decorations, and I'll probably stick to that. Just a thought, these little small transfers come with a little popsicle stick, but I like these bigger sticks that come in the larger transfers, but I'm going to keep them both out just in case. I am going to decorate the fronts of the drawers a little bit. Not too much, because like I say, afterwards I'm going to add the black wax, so yeah, keep it subtle. Alright, let's go. So you want to try not to touch the actual decoration with your fingers. It comes with a little backing paper, but of course it doesn't really stay there. I don't know whether that's why they're discontinued or not, but you can feel that the back is slightly sticky. So hopefully, let's see. I'm not going to record every single transfer application because you've seen me do transfers before, and I just want to give you a general idea. There she is. Yeah. So once I have that down, I'm going to place it down. I'm going to start with my stick here. I'm also going to try not to mar my paint that I just did. That's the one negative thing. If you cut your transfers apart, you have less space to actually use your stick on it to adhere the transfer. So here's where I am going to try this small stick. I want to rub the transfer on, but I don't want to scratch my paint. So believe it or not, I can see through the transfer that it's starting to adhere. It changes color actually around the edges. So you can see that it's starting to adhere. I don't want to mar that. So this has a nice flat edge on it. Yeah. sometimes I even use my fingernail, although not that long right now. That way I can really focus my pressure on the transfer and not my furniture. Whatever works. And sometimes these tiny transfers are more challenging to put down than the large surface ones because of all these tiny details. And you just have to have patience. There, I can kind of see, no, you can still see the shadow on that transfer. That means that there's no black spots, so I know I got the whole transfer down. And I just burnish it a bit with my finger. Afterwards, I'll take a soft cloth and just go over the edges. But pretty. I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to record every single bit of it. But just see if I can actually focus on that. Pretty. Yeah. All right. Okay, so that took me about an hour and a half to do both little tables. And of course they're going to have a clear coat over them. Even though it's the one paint, one by Melange, I have to do something to cover the transfers to make sure they don't peel up afterwards. So, but pretty. I like it. I like it, and it's sort of going to look like that with one of the baskets. And I think that's nice, and the black wax to come after I do my clear coat. So let's see what happens. Okay, so after burnishing those pieces of transfer, I'm going to put a coat or two of General Finishes Flat Out Flat. I use this pretty frequently, so yeah, it gets stirred up quite a bit. Now let's move this over here. And I just have an old synthetic bristle brush, no water, and yeah. So this material, this product is very thin and watery. And so you want to make sure that you don't have drips. But it has quite a bit of open time. So there's plenty of time to go around it, you know, a few times and make sure that you don't have any obvious drips. Yep. It levels out pretty well on its own. I'm going to remove this drawer. Now, if you miss a drip, oops, yeah, you can try to get that with a razor later on. And I'll get the next one. So I have my wax and waxes, and that's what we're going to do today. I'm starting with Howard's Citrus Shield, and it has a beautiful smell to it. I always say that. I have other waxes, but that's my favorite, so I always tend to go for that. And then the Dixie Belle Best Dang Wax in black. And this is a linen cloth. It's been used before, but it's relatively clean. And I keep my brushes in this bag. It's just a like a mesh bag, and if you can see that, I keep my wax brushes with the little cover on them, and this one says wax. That way I won't use it for any colors. And this one is the white wax, and I just keep that, as I say, for white wax. Then I have a few small detail brushes. I've been using gray wax on this one, the copper and gold detail brushes, and I have a small detail black wax brush here. And I keep them also in a plastic bag inside the mesh bag. It just keeps them moist in between washes. Now, these tables have the one step from Melange paint. So if you weren't doing any details over it, it's not supposed to need any top coat. But I did put one coat of the general finishes flat over my stencil, over my transfers. So this is just all added finish covering here. But the reason I'm using the clear coat as well is so that I can put the black wax on. Now, you don't need clear wax to put black wax on, but it helps you move the wax around more easily because it gives a nice surface for it to move on. And it won't hurt your finish. It enhances your finish. You can put finishes over the Melange paint. So, yeah. Okay, so let's kind of buff them down a little bit. So we have our black wax and my detail brush.